and welcome to my channel. My name is Venus and this is my mid-year reading journal check-in. I am so proud of myself, guys. I usually quit doing a reading journal by this time. For some reason, by the time July comes around, I am pretty much done and stop working in my journal. But this year, I am going strong and I'm so excited to share with you guys everything I've been doing in my reading journal. This is for those of you who are not aesthetic. This is a non-aesthetic reading journal, as you can see, with all of these colors and stickers and just fun times happening on this reading journal. So I am not an artist. I am not super aesthetic. There are no earth tones, neutrals in this reading journal. It is very much colorful, and I have made it my own. And so for any of you that have been intimidated or nervous or not confident enough to start a reading journal, this hopefully will inspire you to just open up a journal and just start throwing stickers in there and just having fun and documenting your reading, because that's what it's all about. It's your journal. You should make it look however you look, regardless of what your handwriting is like. I wish that I could be a beautiful aesthetic girly with the wonderful reading journals and the awesome lettering, which I can letter, by the way, but it's much more time consuming to me. So this is fun. That is what we are here for. So let's jump right into my mid-year journal check-in. So here's my cover page. Like I said, just a bunch of journals. I was going with an 80s, 90s old school theme. So I just went online and got a bunch of fun stickers, and I will post any links to stickers that I purchased down below, but I did post them in my setup of my reading journal that I posted in the beginning of the year, I believe. But let's open it up. So here's my title page, very basic. I wanted to use the giant VHS tape sticker to put the year, and then I just, again with the stickers, fun times. This is Christine, if you are not familiar. Christine from the book Christine by Stephen King, one of my favorite horror books, written by him, and I had to have that sticker. I was so excited when it came. And then of course The Shining, Weird Science, fun stuff going on here. You serious, Clark? Let me know down below if you guys know where that's from. We will definitely be friends. We are twins, like minds, if you immediately know what that quote is from. So this is just some, I think I downloaded a print or graphic from Etsy and then just painted. I did not paint that. Just printed it on some paper and put it in there because I think it was like a title page or something that I wanted to cover up. This is the index that I completely stopped using. I did not continue this after I set it up in January, as you can see. January is the last entrance in this index. This is one of my favorite spreads. I love looking at this and seeing all of the different colors, and this is how I keep track of how many pages I read a day. And consistently, I pretty much read every day. Purple is where I haven't read anything, and as you can see, it's not that many days so far this year, so I'm very proud of that. Even if I only get 1 to 25 pages in, I am reading every single day pretty much. So very happy with the progress on that. And then over here are my goals. I put a tab here just so I can get to this page easier, because sometimes it's hard to open this book and figure out where I want to be. And I use this pretty much obviously every day, so I like to get to this right away. But these are my goals. I have not met any of them yet, of course. I'm on track for my 100 books. I think I'm up to 62 books right now that I've read so far this year. I have read 3 Stephen King books. I've read 1 classic. I have not read one single nonfiction book. Not one single one. So I got some work to do there. I pretty much read diverse every month. Obviously, complete your reading journal. Won't be able to check that off until the end of the year, but I am well on my way, and I'm very, like I said, very happy about that. And then I have not increased my NetGalley to 70%. I think right now I'm about 54%, which isn't bad. It was much lower at the beginning of the year, so I'm getting there. And then again, this is like my favorite. I love this. And then another tab on this page, I use this one pretty often. Obviously, every time I finish a book, I fill this in. This is keeping track of how I read the book, whether it's physical, ebook, like on my Kindle, audiobook, library book, or if it's immersive. And as you can see, most of the reading that I do is immersive. I always like to have the audiobook with me when I'm reading it. Sometimes it just enhances the experience. Sometimes if I'm multitasking and I'm able to still listen to the book while I'm doing other things. So that, or sometimes it's a fantasy book or sci-fi book that I really want to get like that double, I can't think of the word right now, double exposure into my brain of what the book is about. So it's just for many reasons, but I really like to do immersive reading. And I have definitely read some library books, so clearly I have not kept track with that. I totally forgot that that was even an option on here. So, yeah, so I've lost whatever library books I read, because I definitely have read some, but didn't clearly track them. This spread, I actually really do like this. It's very simple, but it keeps track of like new releases that are coming out. And then when I read them, I highlight them. So I think I've been doing pretty good so far this year with new releases and reading them when they come out. July was a busy month with new releases. Oh my goodness. And I think I pretty much bought all of these too, except for a couple. I don't have The Family Experiment by John Mars. I actually don't know if that came out or not. I'm reading The God of the Woods right now. Bad Tourist, I have the audiobook from that. I just purchased I Was a Teenage Slasher. The Lost Story, I have that. The Bright Sword, I just bought that. I have not purchased Slow Dance yet. I don't remember if that's coming out, if it's out already or if it's getting ready to come out. So as you can see, I'm still failing with series. I don't think I've read a sequel in quite a few months. I don't know what it is with me and series. I just drag my feet on reading them. I am very behind with the Stormlight Archives read. I just, for some reason, am having a really hard time getting immersed in that series. I don't know what it is, but hopefully I'll get back to it at some point, but clearly I'm not going to make it to the October release of the new book, Wind and Truth, I believe. So I'm not going to put a bunch of pressure on myself anymore. I beat myself up enough about that. So here's my series tracker. This is a spread that I am definitely not going to continue next year with this like printed out version. I very much want to like draw my own version of this. I just don't like the way that this looks in my journal. I like the background of the paper I cut out, but I don't know. I just don't like this. So I'm definitely going to tweak this for next year, but it serves its purpose for now, keeping track of my favorite books for each month. And this is my Stephen King tracker. I feel like, yeah, nope, that's accurate. Those are the books so far that I've read by him this year. And then these, the only classic I've read so far is Persuasion. Nonfiction, there's nothing there. I really need to get that together. This is just a list of arcs. I actually need to catch up on this because I've gotten some more, but these are the arcs that I have had, that I've been approved for so far, and when I read them, I put the date in, or if I think there's one that I DNF'd. Which one was that? How to Become a Dark Lord. I need to put DNF there because I could not get into that book at all. I did put it in my DNF spread though. So this is all the DNFs that I've obviously all the books that I've DNF'd this year. Not too many. I think that's pretty good. Usually by this time in the year, I have DNF'd quite a few books. If you are having a moment about The Return of the King being on my DNF list, please, I do plan on reading it at some point. It is a temporary DNF, so that's actually the only temporary DNF that I have on here. So I do plan on going back to that. For some reason, I was just getting really bored, I'm sorry, reading the last book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go back to it, guys, though. Don't come at me. I will get to it eventually. This is a spread that I absolutely hate. I don't like this at all. I don't like this like circular tracking. I don't like it. I tried to make it more appealing by adding the stickers and the colors, but initially, like the way it looked, I really didn't like it. So I'm definitely going to change how I do this next year. So this is keeping track of all the books that I purchase during the year. As you can see, it's quite a bit. I was not on any type of book buying ban, as some of you have been. I clearly just did what I wanted and bought books that I wanted to buy. Yeah, so these are all of the books that I buy. I keep track of like where I get them from as well. And yeah, I'm definitely going to do this a little different next year because I just don't like this. But that's it. Already got some on here for July. Well, July's almost over at this point. So actually, July's not too bad. I haven't done too... Oh, no. There's books I need to add to that now that I think about it. This is just a really satisfying spread for me. I write down every single book that I read and then the date that I finish it and my rating. And it's just... which I already do in Goodreads, too. I track on Goodreads. But for some reason, just having it written down is just... It's just so satisfying to me. So this... It's definitely a spread that I will continue next year. Then we have our top 10 and 5-star reads that I keep track of. So these are all the books that I've given 5 stars to so far this year. And this is going to be where I track my top 10 of 2024. I love this spread. It's so fun. This one I do really love. I love having the bookshelf. I love the colors. I love tracking by genre. So this is just how I can kind of take a glance and look at all the different genres that I've read so far. And yeah, I love this one. This is another very satisfying spread for me. So I print off all of the book covers that I read and I stick them on here. My goal is to read 100 books. So I love this. It's just, it just brings me joy seeing all of these. Well on my way to 100. I think I'm definitely gonna have no problem getting there. So now we're getting into the monthly spreads. And as we go through the monthly spreads, you will see that I'm very inconsistent. I could not figure out a way that I wanted to continue doing it each month. I changed it up literally every month on how I wrote out my reviews, on what the cover pages look like. And this is where I urge you, if you are struggling with trying to make a reading journal or afraid that it's not going to be the way you want it to look, I'm telling you right now, like I changed so many things every single month on how I did this. And it's July and I still don't have a consistent monthly spread. I just slap something on there and work it out. But so this is how I was writing my reviews. I printed this little, template from an Etsy shop that I obviously printed off and just filled it in and put my rating, colored it in, threw some stickers on here. And I always like having the book cover. And then here I tracked my TBR and stats for the month. And then books that I hadn't added to my TBR that I did read, I put here, which I actually liked this structure. Now that I'm thinking about it, I did like this structure, but I no longer have TBRs, so I wouldn't need that section. But I did kind of like this now that I'm looking at it. Oops, I never put a little review for that. Gotta get back to that one. Good old Richard Lehman. So here's February. As you can see, changed it up again. TBR, books read, DNFs. Ooh, I had 3 DNFs in February. Yikes. This I love. So I decided to try to do a full page spread for my book reviews. And I loved this. I had so much fun doing this, but the problem is that it took forever. Like it took forever. I mean, you look at it and it doesn't look like it took forever, but it really did take me forever for some reason. And I just couldn't keep up with it because otherwise I wouldn't feel like working in my journal if I felt like I knew I had to do this for every single book. Like I've read 62 books. I could not do this for every book, but I do plan to do this for all of my 5-star reads going forward for the rest of the year. But I did love doing this. This was so fun. Finding like pictures that go with the book. Yeah, I loved it. This one was so fun. The book was okay, but I loved doing this spread so much because the characters in it reminded me of, oh my gosh, what is her name? Lara Croft and Indiana Jones. So I had to print little pictures of them out. Yeah, I had fun with this one. And the snake, I just loved it. I had so much fun. I really liked doing my book reviews like this. I got this from, I cannot think of her name right now, but I will post her. She is on YouTube and she does post a bunch of videos of her doing her book reviews like this. I really liked this structure. As you'll see, I did change it. Again, I changed how I did my reviews later, but I really liked this. You just put, you know, how you read it. I obviously, if I do immersive, I always just put the audiobook. So even though this has an audiobook little symbol, I probably was reading it as well. And then the days I read Misery in one day. I loved that. I had such a good time with that book. Kindred, fantastic, 5 stars. Yeah, so I really do like how this came out. I read a lot of books in February because I was out on resting from surgery. So lots of books in February. And then here's March. I just wanted some green. So I changed it up again. I actually do like how this looks with the TBR. I had a pretty, look at this. I had a pretty aggressive TBR for March and I read 4 of the books. This is one of the reasons why I stopped doing TBRs. Like, what was I thinking? There's no way in hell I was going to read all those books. And still, I switched it up a little bit with my reviews again. This one's not too bad. I like this. This was okay. You would have thought I would have had much more to say about The Way of Kings, but not so much. Ooh, so now we're getting into Old School April. So I printed out all of the printouts that Kelsey from Slime & Slashers created for her amazing Old School April readathon, watchathon, nostalgiathon. And I had to put them in my reading journal. This was my TBR, which I did pretty good, I think. I did pretty good for my Old School April. Actually, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Look at all these books I didn't read. Oh, geez. I mean, you know. It's okay. This is a hot mess. This is my least favorite way to do book reviews. So I watched someone's book reviews that are super like aesthetic, and she used like this really beautiful like tea stained paper. And it was like brown and it was so like, you know, earth tones and just great. And I was like, I'm going to do it with some bright colors and it looks like crap. So I did not repeat this. These are the prompts from Instagram and the activity tracker. I tried to keep track of all the things that I did. I'm pretty sure I lost track at some point. I'm so bad at keeping track of stuff. It's terrible. These are all the movies that I watched. I actually watched a lot of movies for Old School April, and I loved them all. Had a great time watching old movies. Loved it. And then this is another way, which I actually like this way, of tracking my reading and putting my reviews. So I like how colorful it is. I like that I don't have a huge space to have to write a bunch of thoughts down if I don't really have much to say. And yeah, this is one of my favorite ones, favorite ways of writing my reviews out. And then May, I don't know what was happening in May. May, I guess I just felt like I needed to be very colorful. May is when I decided to no longer do TBRs. I also got a like sticker set from Pip Stickers with a bunch of little garden gnomes, and I was like, I'm just gonna use all the stickers. I was really embracing my mood reading personality here. So that's that's the inspiration for the May title page. I don't know what happened here. Let's just not even, I don't know what I was doing here. This is another new way that I changed it up to document my book reviews. This was okay, not too bad. It was all right. Not my favorite though. And then I changed it up again. A full page for The Idea of You, because I absolutely loved that book. It was such a fun time. Then I switched it to a page, which not too bad. I loved it. I feel like I was really trying to force like filling it up though, even though I may not have had a lot to say about it, but it's okay. As you can see, I got tired of writing for these, so this spread was a little harder because it's just so much space, and if I have a book that I really don't have that much to say about it, then I'm you know, it's just a waste of space. So all right, then we're into June. So June, we're back to the 4s, which like I said, I really like doing. I liked this. I think I saw somebody drawing something similar to this on Instagram, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try that for my reading journal. So that came out pretty cute. This I'm not going to do again. So this one is where you kind of document the days that you're reading your books, but things overlapped a lot and it just became super messy. As you can see, like this one, I had like 3 books I was reading in the same day. So yeah, I tried it. Not for me, but there you go. All my reviews here. Oh, and that was quick. We're at the end of my journal. So this I put here to separate the first 6 months. So those were the first 6 months of 2024. And as you can see, it is already at almost the end of July. And guess what? I have not started my July spread. So hopefully when I get to the end of the year, I will have actually finished my reading journal, but I've got some catching up to do. Good thing I've only read 5 books so far this year. And I got a bunch of really cool Summerween stickers from Gabby Reed's channel. She did Summerween, and I only ended up reading 1 book for Summerween. So I don't know what I'm going to do with all these stickers, but they're super cute. So let's see. All right, that is my reading journal so far for 2024. Let me know down below, guys. I'd love to hear from you. Do you keep a reading journal? Do you care what your handwriting looks like? Have you been nervous to start one because you didn't feel like you could be as artistic or creative as all of the beautiful journals that you see on YouTube? Let me know, and let me be here to inspire you. Just do it. Throw some stickers on there, highlighters, and that's all you need. All right, as always, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you have a fantastic day, and I will see you again soon. See ya.